Hey, VV Nation, welcome to the channel. My name is Glenn.
And I'm Ryan.
And it's time for afternoon market act. What the heck is it? Afternoon market action.
Afternoon
Man, I got a lot of stuff.
action.
Glenn is telling Powell what to say. No, I'm not. So fine, we started right here. The announcement just came out. The last decision was at 5.25. They did raise a quarter basis point to 550. All right, so there it is, right there, right where we thought it was going to be. Today is going to be watching what the market's all about from this point. We're going to see the reaction. We're going to, at 2:30, we're going to tune in to the actual Q&A. Listen so that everybody in here can get a different story. We're going to all listen to the same thing, and everybody's going to hear it differently. It's human nature. It's what we do best. All right, so we'll do that. If you can hear us, let us know in the chat, preferably with VV Nation, to let us know that we are coming across loud and clear. Notice, real quick, that Ryan and I are both wearing our new VectorVest shirts. Show them the logo, Ryan. Make sure that they can see the logo.
Right here.
Look at that. Our new VectorVest today with twinsies. Hi, Twinsy.
Hey, Twinsy.
Today
How you doing today?
Just in case you have not known, go to our store, www.vectorvest.com/merchandise. Ryan doesn't have a code yet. We're gonna check that. We're gonna make sure he does. But if you use promo code Glenn23, Glenn with two N's, Glenn23, we give you 30% off. We give you 30% off. All right. So again, right here, I wanted to bring us right to the announcement as it happened. 5.5. That's where we are. Ryan, did Glenn give you any of his Cafe Boost? I don't need it. I got my own Cafe Bustelo.
Well, I did try it for the first time. I told you that yesterday, Glenn. I ended up buying some.
You did. So
it's really good. I don't want to, promote it too much, but it's really good coffee.
VV Nation knows that Glenn drinks it. Mark, when he's normally here, make sure that I have a lot of it. So, will Ryan 23 get you 50% off? Hell no. No, that's not even funny, Ryan. Don't even laugh. No.
I'll see what I can do. I'll talk to Devin.
It bet not. It bet not.
At least give me 35% so I can be ahead of Glenn.
It is what it is. Whatever makes you go to our store, if it gives you, whatever happens. All right. Hi, guys. Market in action with Fed. Wish all traders luck. Hi, Marie. Hi, Carol. Carol wants me to sing. I'm not going to sing yet. All right. So, when we move from here, when the Fed is ready for its 2:30 announcement or conference, we're ready. We're going to stream it live. All right, we're going to stream it live. Everybody's going to be able to chime in on what they think, what they saw. Listen, normally on Fed days, we get a lot more people. Right now, we're sitting at 255. Let's double that. Let's bring, what's 255? Let's get 510. Woo! I did it on the fly. Let's get 510 people in here. Come on. Get people out there. Invite people to the live stream. Joey's going to put the link up there. Joey's going to put the link up there. Copy it. Share it. All right. Before all of that happens, we have some stories for you that we picked up, and we're going to be done by 2:30. Let's start with, can I take a mouse? Let's start with the first story. Coca-Cola. Fed approves hike that takes rates to a highest level in more than 22 years. That's big. That's big. But you know something? Interest rates are still low, right? What are we at? 5.5.
Yeah, historically speaking, we're still low.
We're still historically low. All right. I don't want to know what her, I don't even know how to say her name. I don't even want it. All right. Coca-Cola raises full year outlook as earnings beat estimates. I did a video not too long ago about my top summer stocks. Pepsi was on my list. Coca-Cola. When I made the story, I said Coca-Cola was world known everywhere. Pepsi, not nearly as much, but I like Pepsi. As a matter of fact, I have a case of Pepsi Zeros. Ryan saw me bring it in and was like, oh, we got soda? I was like, oh, heck no. We ain't got soda.
He wouldn't share.
I'm not sharing with you. So I got this for me, for people who have diabetes. It's Pepsi Zero, cherry flavor.
I don't want that.
Inflation going down month by month. I hope interest rates. Not yet. I don't think it's going to go lower yet. Not
No.
yet, not yet. We'll talk a little bit more about that before he comes on. So my first story is about Coca-Cola. Why else do I like it? It's summertime, cookouts, the whole 9 yards. I don't think you can go wrong with either Coca-Cola or Pepsi, but I like the Coca-Cola stock. Let me get to the software real quick. Let me get to the software. And after the rate increase, this is where the market looks like right now. Let's go find 2 o'clock. That's 159. There's 2 o'clock. So far, we're watching the market from the 2 o'clock announcement. It's sitting still in a little bit of a channel. We're going to monitor this for the rest of the presentation. I'm going to go to the viewers tab, go to Glenn's picks, and Coca-Cola, big news again, beat. There it is. It's up only about 0.8%. You know, though, when I look at Coca-Cola, I'm actually going to put Pepsi in here. PEP. Put Pepsi in here. Let's compare the two of them. Even though the story is not about Pepsi. There's Pepsi and there's Coca-Cola. They're right behind each other as far as from the VST point. Pepsi's got a little bit bigger, better VST. And they both grow their earnings single digits. I don't think there's a lot of margin in soda. I think they just sell so much of it. Outside of just Pepsi and Coke, they have other lines as well. Pepsi's a lot more expensive than Coca-Cola, and Coca-Cola's been around a long time. Both of them are overvalued. From a Coca-Cola perspective, I like the stock. Let's go look at both the graphs on both of those real quick. Put these on a 3-month graph. There's Coca-Cola. There's the earnings beat right at a level of resistance. RT is above 1. Let's go to Pepsi. Pepsi's doing the same thing. Broke through resistance, though. The 3 and the 8 on both of them. I don't think you can go wrong with either cola. All right, but the story was about Coca-Cola. All right, let's go to...
Hey, what's the dividend yield on Coca-Cola real quick?
Hold on.
So I know Coca-Cola is a very popular dividend stock.
Coca-Cola,
especially more of a defensive play sometimes.
Both of them are sitting...
Yeah,
and
okay.
the dividend safeties. Pepsi's got a safer dividend safety than Coca-Cola. But the dividend yields are pretty decent in the current market's conditions. They both are right in line with each other. But Pepsi's got a better dividend safety in regards to maintaining or growing the dividend. All right, let's get to the next story. Ryan's story. Ryan and I both had a story on XPeng. This is Ryan's story. Go ahead.
Yeah, so it looks like Volkswagen is going to be investing $700 million in XPeng. Now, they did announce a cooperation. Now, XPeng, it's a new EV for the Chinese market. It's definitely took a huge hit this year. Now, it has been on the rise the past few weeks. I was looking at it earlier today. It jumped up to $22. Can you pull up a chart of it?
Yep.
Glenn? Because that thing, I mean, it was moving today.
Let's go to Ryan's picks.
Now, while he's pulling that up, Volkswagen, this will bring them to have just under a 5% stake in the company altogether.
27%, bro.
Yeah, 20. It's moving. And I was surprised. So it shot up. I was looking at the intraday chart. It shot up probably within, the first 30 minutes, 40 minutes of the market. And then it started pulling back quite heavily. But now that price has sustained and it's starting to rise back again. I mean, look at it. It's back up, just under $20 right now.
And when I look at, I'm a fan of EVs. Fundamentally not there. News driven. RT is above 1. Earnings growth only at 1. This is always what catches me on all of the EVs. They're still not making money. The big thing about looking at XPeng, if you're trying to look at it long term, we all know that the EV demand is there. Can they supply the vehicles? That's what it's really going to come down to. Can they supply the vehicles? RV on XPEV way too low for me, says John. I think that there's a lot of EV companies out there that are better. Of course, the big one is going to be Tesla. But you got Rivian.
And I was surprised. NIO, last time I looked, it was up just over 10%, which kind of shocked me. I thought they might take a hit based on this news. But I guess, like you said, the industry as itself is just hot right now. With it.
The rising tide floats all boats, So I added that to your list. You all right with that?
Yeah. Okay.
So I do like them both. They got to provide the cars. That's the biggest thing with any of these EVs. They got to provide the cars. All right. So I've got an XPeng story. Mine is focusing on Volkswagen as well. Jointly developed 2 new EVs with the Chinese automaker. So the big thing for me is that there's another company out there of which I'm not going to mention the name. And I thought Volkswagen was going to be a big part of that company's announcement at some point in time. So I won't put that out there who I thought, but I'm wondering how this story affects that other company's potential news going forward. So you hear an echo, don't hear an echo. We had an echo, something was going on. Joey fixed it. All right. So we both probably have XPeng in our lists. All right, we probably both have X in our list. Question, is Tesla overvalued based on these EV competitors in the EV market? The answer to that is yes. Since I added a stock to yours, I got XPeng in mine. I think I'm going to add Tesla to mine as well. You all right?
Okay.
Yeah, I'm going to add Tesla. All right, and Tesla is overvalued. There's no ifs, ands,
I think the value is what, 120?
It's
up to 140 now. So the value's rising. So that's a good sign.
Price, the potential of people buying the stock is still up there. But if I'm looking at an EV company, look at that, fundamentally sound, going up in price, earnings growth at 26%. There's a big difference in EVs. Now they're both buy recommendations, but Tesla's making money. They're growing their earnings. Are they paying a dividend? No, neither one of them are paying a dividend. The volume is better on Tesla than it is. Look at the sales growth. Remember, and what did Tesla do? They lowered the prices on their cars to increase the amount of sales. Sales growth 47%, whereas XPEV is negative, negative 50. So as much as the news as I like on all of these, whether it's NIO, whether it's all of these companies, the EV company is only going to be as good as its ability to provide the cars. Glenn, please show the MTI and how the MTI values are bunching at the top. Could be a time to hedge your portfolios with SBI put. So let me talk about that. What have we been talking about in our videos, in our live streams? Ryan did a lot in regards to the daily color guard report. Folks, we've been telling you to be cautious for the past couple of weeks because that MTI, let's go to the graphs, that MTI has been at the level of that 1.5, 1.6 range for the last couple of weeks. So we've already been telling you to be cautious, to hedge, whatever you need to do. We never told you to panic sell. We never will. But the hedging, the protecting of profits is what we've been preaching. But if you haven't heard that yet, John, I think that there's a problem. Whether it's on YouTube or it's been in the VectorVest software, we've been really promoting the ability for you guys to hedge. All right.
And I saw the primary wave just went down.
It went down yesterday
ago.
And it's still down today. We couldn't get a red light today because we're working off a green from the past week. All right, next story. Alibaba could support cloud to support Meta AI model for Chinese users. Alibaba and Meta getting together, very interesting. Has been developing its own AI model. In recent months, it also has potential geopolitical ramifications considering U.S. attempts to limit Chinese access to American AI technology. Very interesting on both of these stocks as a story. Alibaba Cloud has launched the first training and deployment solution for the entire Llama 2 series in China, welcoming all developers to create customized large models on Alibaba Cloud. So in my list, I think I have both Alibaba and I didn't put Meta. That's all right. I got enough stocks in here today. Alibaba, nice on the move up to. We look at it again, relative value, relative safety below 1, as compared to other stocks. So this is news driven. RT is above 1. VST and CI both below 1. Positive earnings, but negative earnings growth. Alibaba, when it moves just like that. You know, when I look at Alibaba, I put my hands upon my hips. When it dips, I dip, we dip. So Alibaba, when it moves just like that. And then sometimes it doesn't. Baba earnings on the 8th. Thank you. John says, Glenn, will you buy an electric car from Alibaba for like $4,000? Nope. If I'm going to buy me an electric car, it's going to be a Tesla. Straight up. Straight up now tell me, do you really want to ride with me forever? You know, I don't want it to be a hit and run. You know what I'm saying? How many of you caught that reference? Ryan, you may not have caught that.
No.
What do you know about some Paula
Where's
Abdul,
that from?
Joey? You ain't down. You don't know. All right, 24 car. I know, Drew. I did a story on Monday, on Monday's live stream, talking about Tesla's putting out a $24,000 car in India. We should start a poll. Will Powell crash the market, or will the market go up when he starts talking? You want to put that poll up?
Oh, that's a good poll right there.
Right. You want to put up a poll? Will Powell crash the market, or will the market go up when he starts talking? Joey's going to put a poll up. All right, so that's
since 2 o'clock. The market's still up right now.
Yeah, go look at the graph. Where's it at? Market's still channeling. There's the 2 o'clock. It is moving higher from 2 o'clock. All right, so there's the poll. There's the poll. Let's go have a little bit of fun with this. Let's go answer the poll. All right, let's get to the next story, which is I talked about this on Monday. I actually took a position on this on Monday. You could talk about it. I took a position on it on Monday, and I got out of it on Tuesday.
So, you know, Oppenheimer and Barbie.
Yep. Barbenheimer.
It was the second biggest box office weekend in history. Yep. And this stock just shot up, but it's crashed back down. So I'm actually on the bearish side, and this in my list is going to be a short.
Okay, I'm with you.
So yeah, I'm not bullish. You know, I think fundamentally, and just with the times changing, I don't see the AMC or even just the theater industry. They have a lot of headwinds. And then the other thing I thought was really interesting to play off of this is, I don't know if you heard about the Writer Guilds of America. They represent, I believe it's like over 10,000 screenwriters. They've been on strike.
And then the actors just went on strike.
The actors did too? Oh, I didn't know about that. So yeah, I think there's a lot of internal, issues and hurdles that that's going to affect this company right here, AMC. So right now I'm short on it.
I think it's not going to only affect AMC. I think it's going to affect streaming services. It's going to affect the streaming services. It's going to be a very interesting, elongated seasons of stuff that's going to be rerun, because all the fall stuff is going to be delayed. All the fall stuff is going to be delayed, so it's going to be very interesting. So you're bearish on AMC.
Bearish on AMC, right. Exactly.
You got two stories here. I wasn't behind the paywall, so.
Let's see here. Google. Yep. All right. So two big tech giants reported earnings yesterday, or after the hours. Microsoft and Google. Microsoft, taking a hit. I think it was down about 4 or 5% earlier today, last time I looked. However, Google on the upside right now. It's a lot of it has to do with the revenue. It grew 28% year over year. In addition, they are expecting a lot of strong cloud growth. So there's a lot of good things going on for Google. If you haven't looked at it yet, I did a video last week on Google's Bard system against Microsoft's ChatGPT. So if you haven't taken a look at that, definitely would recommend that, because I actually go into both platforms and we just type in a simple question, so that way you can kind of compare the results and get a little bit more familiar with both of their language models. But yeah, as far as Google, very bullish on Google right now. I think there's a lot that they can do as far as AI in general. And what I do like about Google, they have a huge ecosystem to work with. They've already got, YouTube being one. That's probably, one of the biggest things that they can have developments or growth as far as their AI content, Google Maps. So I just like the ecosystem, since it's already existing and they already have, tons and, I don't know the number, but I imagine there's a couple, if not millions into the billions of people that are using.
I've got a different take. I think Microsoft has been around longer. It's more established. They've got their hands in a lot of different things. I think their investment in ChatGPT is what spurred all of this recent move in the AI space. I think everybody was like, oh, what does Microsoft know that we don't know? And then everybody else started jumping on board with it. But the longevity of Microsoft compared to Google, I like. So
Okay.
we'll see. And Joey put up a link of Ryan's video. I think he did a really great job on that video. If you haven't had an opportunity to watch it, please do. Folks, we do more than just live streams. There's a lot of information that we have on our YouTube page. You need to go check it out. By the way, talking about that, we just recently went over 50,000 subscribers. Thank you guys for that. We do appreciate that. I put out a challenge to you guys. I wanted to double that by the end of the year. Don't look like we're doing too good about that, but I need you guys to share this content, even after it's up on the site. Share it. Microsoft, buy the dip after the latest sell-off. I still think that Microsoft's got some more upside, especially because of the AI space. But I'm with Ryan. I think that Google's got a lot of upside as well. Huh? Oh, this cut. Okay. So, I like both stocks. I do like both stocks. I like Microsoft a little bit more, again, more so because of the longevity. And then Ryan, here's the other story, the same story. And this one just got from CNBC, but the same thing. All right.
Correct.
One last thing before we get into our stocks is this was big news yesterday, and it was on our blog page. If you go to VectorVest.com, all right, go to our main website, which looks just like this. You can always go over to the blog and click on it. But this was big news. Raytheon drops 15% on engine problems. That's big. That's in the same space with the defense space with Boeing and all those other companies that are out there. That's big. This is going to be big. And it seems like every time Boeing gets a leg to get up, they get smacked down. Raytheon, though, the first time I've seen this kind of bad news. But yesterday it was down more than 15%. Tuesday. That's huge. Google is cheaper than Apple. So that's all I got to say about that. How about that?
Curious. I wonder if Boeing stock is up today based off this news. Let me take a look here.
Let's do this. Let's go to both of our lists. Pick which one you want. You want Raytheon?
I'll take Boeing.
All right. Let's go to the viewers. Ryan, I'm going to take Raytheon. What is it? RTM? No.
And just to let you know, I was looking at the chart right now on Boeing. Yesterday, it closed around 214. As of right now, it's hovering just above 229. So it is responding to that news of Raytheon.
Raytheon, there it is. RTX, I'm going to take that one. You're going to take Boeing. Joey broke it. What did you do? Sigh. What's it, Boeing? BA? Yep.
Yeah, BA.
All right, let's go look at Boeing first. Let's go see if Raytheon going down helps Boeing. Let's auto fit. Yes, look at that. Way overvalued, though. Yeah. But you know that Boeing's got some orders from India then they got held back again. But nice move on Boeing. Glenn,
look at that growth rate on Boeing. Oh, sorry,
I'm gonna go back to it.
Oh, you're good.
Go back to it. And Raytheon, look at that, down over 15% yesterday, down another 1%. Big sell. Earnings growth at 10. Let's go back to Boeing. Earnings growth. Oops. 19. All right.
Yeah, that's the biggest one on the list.
RT is above 1. CI is above 1. Earn no dividend. No dividend. So the move to the downside on Raytheon is definitely helping Boeing. But you know something? I think that Raytheon, I don't know if they could rebound right now. I don't know if they could rebound right now because this is big bad news. They're gonna take a lot of these engines are gonna have to come off of their planes. I don't know if they can rebound really quickly. They do have an RV above one. I just don't know if they can really. I'm probably going to be bearish on this going into the week. All right, let's go check out our picks from last week. We got 5 minutes. We got 5 minutes till Dougie Fresh is on.
All right, so of this list, I was short coin.
You were short coin?
Yeah, I was short coin.
Everything else was bullish?
The rest were bullish.
All right, it's a quick test. It worked out because coin was down. You were down a little bit. I think if you factor that in, you're probably...
Oh, yeah, coin would have been up 10%. That would actually been my big winner.
That would have been your big winner. But SJT, to your oil picks. Your oil picks made it. Microsoft, Apple, coin, not coin, but Tesla built.
Oil's hot right now. Oh, tonight's 6 p.m. YouTube video, just a sneak peek. It is going to be on oil.
Check it out.
Definitely worth checking out.
Check it out. All right. Let's go to Glenn's picks last week. Do this real quick. Dang, I had a lot of freaking stuff.
Were you bearish anything last week?
Nope. All of this was good news.
Okay.
The answer to your question is no. I had a speculative pick. Remember about this news? This was a
Oh, yeah.
I forgot what the news was about, but it was a speculative pick. And I was really nervous about it, but I said, keep this on your radar, right? I did. Did I not say about keeping this, that this was my, yes?
Well, it's down 12% today.
It is. Crap.
Oof.
All right. Let's go see. Let's go back a week. I told you it was a speculative pick. Let's go quick test.
Hey, it's still up 38% though.
Look at that. But man, 3 stocks, double digits down. Drug, Carvana. I don't know. I don't remember, but I don't remember being bearish on it. But 1 point, so yeah. But a big winner in my speculative pick. Goldman Sachs beat Bristol Squibb Meyer, Bank of America, tech stock, Tesla. I think that's, I forget what that is.
Carvana was restructuring their debt. That's right.
Oh, I don't think I was long term on that. I think that was just
the story.
I think that was just news driven.
Okay.
All right. And one last thing, let's go see customers' picks from last week. What did you guys do before the Fed comes on? Go back to the 19th. Did you guys do any well? Oh my gosh. Why do you even give me these stocks? You guys were horrible. It was straight up horrible.
4 winners.
Yeah, that's all right.
6 losers
that's
here.
All right. So now they're going to be like, oh, so you think we're just horrible. I'm not going to give you any stocks going forward. Fine. That's on y'all.
Well,
all right. So
the last 7 days was rough for
I don't disagree. XROF was in the list. I own XROF. I don't think that's the only stock in here that I do own. All right. Let's get ready for the Fed. Go to the Fed chair live. There it is. All right, Joey, what do I need to do? My volume is up. SMCI running out of steam. Brad, I've talked about that, especially in one of my videos when I was talking about taking profits. I think that was the prior Fridays. I talked about how to trade specifically one of those stocks, which is SMCI. Running out of steam. I think that, yes. I think that the market may be setting up for a pullback. All right, the market may be setting up. We'll see. Oh, okay. We'll see what the Fed, how the Fed reaction is going to be. I think with the toppy market, a lot of different things, the market is definitely in line with pullback. So there's the market. There's the Fed. Actually, I'm gonna reset this so I can move that over.
And Dan says there's more price cuts coming from Tesla and other EV makers. You know, they're doing a price war
I
right now.
think Tesla would be silly to do it again. It affected them adversely as far as margin. I don't think he's got to answer to his board. I don't think he wants to answer to his board for another quarter and say, "Well, we sold a lot of cars, but our margins suck." I don't think he really wants to do that again.
Well, it looks like the market gave away all those gains from the announcement.
So there's my line at the 2:00 time period. We're monitoring from that, and once the Fed gets on and starts talking, we're going to keep rocking and rolling. My pick of Carvana was from VectorVest Daily Boomers. I know. Listen. Oh, so Marie, you ain't got to justify the pick. Excuse me. You don't have to justify the pick. High energy. That will help. That will hurt Tesla's margins. Absolutely, Ramon. I don't think he wants to do that again. I don't think he wants to beat. He wants to do that again. William says, "Nah on SMCI." Listen, right now, I wouldn't tell you to risk it, especially if you've made money on SMCI. I wouldn't tell you to risk it. Take the profit.
Oh,
by the way, that's raw sugar. It's not sugar in the raw.
Good afternoon.
That means it's not. It's diabetic.
My
colleagues
and I was talking. Squarely focused on our dual mandate to promote maximum employment and stable prices for the American.
I can't hear him.
We understand the hardship that high inflation is causing, and we remain strongly committed to bringing inflation back down to our 2% goal. Price stability is the responsibility of the Federal Reserve. Without price stability, the economy doesn't work for anyone. In particular, without price stability, we will not achieve a sustained period of strong
now I can hear
conditions that benefit all. Since early last year, the FOMC has significantly tightened the stance of monetary policy. Today, we took another step by raising our policy interest rate a 1/4 percentage point, and we are continuing to reduce our securities holdings at a brisk pace. We've covered a lot of ground, and the full effects of our tightening have yet to be felt.
Full effect.
Looking ahead, we will continue to take a data-dependent approach in determining the extent of additional policy firming that may be appropriate. I'll have more to say about monetary policy after briefly reviewing economic developments. Recent indicators suggest that economic activity has been expanding at a moderate pace. Growth in consumer spending appears to have slowed from earlier in the year. Although activity in the housing sector has picked up somewhat, it remains well below levels of a year ago, largely reflecting higher mortgage rates. And higher interest rates and slower output growth also appear to be weighing on business fixed investment. The labor market remains very tight. Over the past 3 months, job gains averaged 244,000 jobs per month, a pace below that seen earlier in the year, but still a strong pace. The unemployment substantially exceeds the supply of available workers. Inflation remains well above our longer run goal of 2%. Over the 12 months ending in May, total PCE prices rose 3.8%. Excluding the volatile food and energy categories, core PCE prices rose 4.6%. In June, the 12-month change in the Consumer Price Index, or CPI, came in at 3.0%, and the change in the core CPI was 4.8%. Inflation has moderated somewhat since the middle of last year. Nonetheless, the process of getting inflation back down to 2% has a long way to go. Despite elevated inflation, longer-term inflation expectations appear to remain well anchored, as reflected in a broad range of surveys of households, businesses, and forecasters, as well as measures from financial markets. The Fed's monetary policy actions are guided by our mandate to promote maximum employment and stable prices for the American people. My colleagues and I are acutely aware that high inflation imposes significant hardship as it erodes purchasing power, especially for those least able to meet the higher cost of essentials like food, housing, and transportation. We're highly attentive to the risks that high inflation poses to both sides of our mandate, and we are strongly committed to returning to inflation to our 2% objective. At today's meeting, the committee raised the target range for the federal funds rate by a quarter percentage point, bringing the target range to 5.25% to 5.5%. We are also continuing the process of significantly reducing our securities holdings. With today's action, we've raised our policy rate by 5.25 percentage points since early last year.
That's a
We
lot.
have been seeing the effects of our policy tightening on demand.
There's the breakout
most
in the market.
interest rate
Yep.
Sensitive
There it
sectors of
goes.
the economy, particularly housing and investment. It will take time, however, for the full effects of our ongoing monetary restraint to be realized, especially on inflation. In addition, the economy is facing headwinds from tighter credit conditions for households and businesses, which are likely to weigh on economic activity, hiring, and inflation. In determining the extent of additional policy firming that may be appropriate to return inflation to 2% over time, the committee will take into account the cumulative tightening of monetary policy, the lags with which monetary policy affects economic activity and inflation,
like what he's
and
saying.
economic and financial developments. We will continue to make our decisions meeting by meeting based on the totality of the incoming data and their implications for the outlook for economic activity and inflation, as well as the balance of risks. We remain committed to bringing inflation back to our 2% goal and to keeping longer-term inflation expectations well anchored. Reducing inflation is likely to require a period of below-trend growth and some softening of labor market conditions. Restoring price stability is essential to set the stage for achieving maximum employment and stable prices over the longer run. To conclude, we understand that our actions affect communities, families, and businesses across the country. Everything we do is in service to our public mission. We at the Fed will do everything we can to achieve our maximum employment and price stability goals. Thank you, and I look forward to your questions.
All right, so we're going to stick around for some of the questions.
Mr. Chairman, thank you.
Look at the market.
You have, I think,
It likes what it's hearing.
Opening remarks talked about this language in determining the extent of additional policy firming that may be appropriate. Should we take that to mean that additional hikes are likely on the way?
Oh, here we
And
go.
Should we also believe that all future meetings, say September and November, are live, or are you in a every other meeting mode? Thank you.
So we haven't made a decision to go to every other meeting. It's not something we've looked at. We're going to be going meeting by meeting, and as we go into each meeting, we're going to be asking ourselves the same question. So we haven't made any decisions about any future meetings, including the pace at which we'd consider hiking. But we're going to be assessing the need for further tightening that may be appropriate. You read the language, to return inflation to 2% over time. I would say that the intermeeting data came in broadly in line with expectations. Economic activity remained resilient. Job creation remained strong while cooling a bit. And the June CPI report actually came in a bit better than expectations for a change. And the June CPI report, of course, was welcome, but it's only one report, 1 month's data. We hope that inflation will follow a lower path but it will be consistent with the CPI reading. But we don't know that, and we're just going to need to see more data. So what are we going to be looking at? Really, it will be the whole broader picture. And starting with, we're looking for moderate growth, right? We're looking for supply and demand through the economy coming into better balance, including in particular in the labor market. We'll be looking at inflation. And we'll be asking ourselves, does this whole collection of data, do we assess it as suggesting that we need to raise rates further? And if we make that conclusion, then we will go ahead and raise rates. So that's how we're thinking about the next meeting, and how we're thinking about meetings going forward potentially. But we're now mainly thinking about the next meeting. I will also say, since we're talking about it,
Let me look at my
between
trading
now and the
account.
September meeting,
Holy
we
smokes.
get 2 more job
Oh my
reports,
gosh,
2 more
I'm getting
CPI
excited.
reports. I think we have an ECI report coming later this week, which is Employment Compensation Index. And lots of data on economic activity. All of that
Look at that,
information is going
62%
to
of you said no
inform our
about crashing the
decision as
market.
we go into that meeting. I would say it is certainly possible that we would raise funds again at the September meeting if the data warranted. And I would also say it's possible that we would choose to hold steady at that meeting. We're going to be making careful assessments, as I said, meeting by meeting. And I'll close by saying we've raised the federal funds rate now by 525 basis points since March 2022.
525
Monetary policy, we
basis.
believe, is restrictive and is putting downward pressure on economic activity and inflation.
If I could just briefly follow up on something you said there. You said the data in the intermediate period, it broadly came in line with expectations. Does that mean there's unlikely to have been a change in the overwhelming outlook of the committee that 2 more hikes are necessary?
2 more
I'm
hikes.
just going to go back to what I said.
We'll see.
That's the question. We have 8 weeks now until the September meeting, and all that data that I recited, we're going to be looking at all
He
of
won't
that and
answer
make
that
an
question.
assessment then. And it really,
Data
we did
dependent
have the
is
one
the word
good
he
reading,
likes,
and of course
the
we
phrase.
welcome that, but it's just one reading, as everybody knows. And we've seen this before in the data. Many forecasts call for rates for inflation to remain low, but we just don't know that until we see the data. So we'll be focusing on that.
Primary wave went back up.
Thank you. Thanks for taking our questions, Chair Powell. Obviously, you upgraded the language around growth in the statement today. You know, we've seen the Barbie movie numbers. We've seen everyone going to Taylor Swift concerts this summer. It seems like the American consumer is in pretty good shape. And it does seem like growth is sort of picking back up a little bit, or at least doing well. And I wonder, from your perspective, if that continues, if we see growth not just stabilizing, but doing, performing well this summer, is that a problem because it's inflationary, or is it good news because it suggests that a soft landing is more likely? Just how are you thinking about that sort of trajectory?
Yeah, so I would say it this way. The overall resilience of the economy, the fact that
People are
we've
spending
been able
money.
to achieve disinflation so far without any meaningful negative impact on the labor market, the strength of the economy, overall, that's a good thing. It's good to see that, of course.
But you
it's
don't
also,
like
you
that.
see consumer confidence coming up and things like that. That will support activity going forward. But you're right, though. At the margin, stronger growth could lead over time to higher
John
inflation,
says
and
Taylor
that would
Swift and
require
Barbie
appropriate
talked about at the
response
Fed meeting.
for monetary policy. So we'll be watching that carefully and seeing how it evolves over time.
Market's still rocking.
Thanks, Chair Powell. Neil Irwin from Axios. So as you referenced earlier, in the intermeeting period, soft CPI, jobs reports, still strong but moderating, JOLTS looks good. So if you're data dependent, why not pause again? Why not stay on hold? Why not take another meeting off when the data was at least cutting in the direction you want to see?
So if you go back to what we're trying to do here, we're trying to achieve a stance of policy that's sufficiently restrictive to bring inflation down to 2%. At the last meeting, we wrote down our individual
Andrew, I just saw the
estimates of
NASDAQ
that would take,
100, the
what that would
QQQ
take,
just went
and
positive.
the median of that was an additional 2 rate hikes. So I would say we looked at the intermeeting data, and as I mentioned, broadly consistent, not perfectly consistent, but broadly consistent with expectations. And as a result, we went ahead and took another step. And that's a labor market that continues to be strong, but gradually slowing.
Strong,
I
but
mentioned
slowing.
that the inflation report was actually a little better than expected, but we're going to be careful about taking too much signal from a single reading. And growth came in stronger than expected. So that's how we look at it, and so we did take that step today.
All right, do you still want to watch more?
Nick Timmeros,
Or
The
do you
Wall
want to
Street
get back into the
Journal. Chair
software?
Powell, markets.
One,
widely
you want to
believe the
watch
median
more.
FOMC
2, you want to get into the
participants' inflation
software.
Forecast.
One, you want to watch
from
more.
June
2,
for
you
the
want to
fourth
get into the
quarter this
software.
year will be too high, given autos and shelter. And that by September, that may warrant a downward revision in the inflation forecast of 20 to 30 basis points. Would that type of inflation progress be enough to hold rates steady from here?
Brad.
Or do you need to see below-trend growth and decelerating labor income growth to be convinced that you've done enough?
So it's hard to pick the pieces apart and say, how much of this and how much of that. We'll be looking at everything. And, we'll be looking
Well, I
to
think
see
what the
whether
market likes the
signal
most here
from
is we
June
haven't been
CPI
thrown a curveball
is
today.
replicated or
I mean, he's not saying anything out of the
We'll be
ordinary.
looking at the growth data. We'll be looking at the labor market data very closely,
John
of course,
says, "I'm
and
waiting
making
for
an
Powell to
overall
say,
judgment.
see
of
the
that.
6 p.m.
It's the
video that
totality
Glenn
of the
puts out
data,
for what stocks
I
to
think,
buy.
but with a particular focus on making
All right,
progress. on
most people
inflation.
want to get back into the software. All right,
You
let's
said
do
there
it.
were benefits to moderating the pace of
All right, Mr.
increases
Powell.
because it would give you more.
you're done. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to give you a bonus. You know what we're going to do? Do you need that? I'm going to give you a bonus. We don't do this very often. But we've got
the Derby.
Yeah, we
Love
got a
it.
tool specifically to take advantage of intraday activity. We use it in our day trading room called the Jockey Club. I'm going to open up a little bit of its ability with a day moving like today to find some stocks to get into. How about right now, out of all of the searches that we have, 177 that are being tracked, I can tell you that 128 of these searches are bullish. No, 133, 30 something, 32 are bullish between the bullish and the bearish search. So let's do this. Show me the money long is up 8.27%. Look at the equity curve on these 10 stocks. Let's go see if there's any. Good Lord. What happened to Tupperware?
Tupperware.
Holy smokes.
59%.
Let's go see what happened news-wise. They beat earnings? 9 days ago. Press release. Wow. What happened with Tupperware? That's interesting.
Maybe put it in like
I'm
Google
going
and
to
see.
put it into...
Yeah, just surpassed 60%.
DUP. Go see. Tupperware. There's no recent news. There it is. A potential short squeeze. That was two days ago from Tip Ranks. 2 days ago. We'll take a look at the stock. View the stock graph. Do I like it? 3 months. It was getting its butt kicked.
Oh, wow.
And then 2 days ago, the 24th, short squeeze. Here's the 24th. Prior to that, the 3 went above the 8 on the 23rd. On the 21st. Something happened there to push it up. Anybody want to take that stock? Yes or no? And anybody want to take that stock? Yes or no? Type it in the room. If you're day trading, though, very little wick at the top. So it's not a lot of give back. There's not a lot of profit taking. This stock is going up. Anybody want to take that? Yes or no? It's an interesting day trade pick, though. What else is moving? Let's go highlight everything that's up at least 1%. Love the equity curve on these stocks, though.
Mm-hmm.
We will give you a trial at $30. Give you get you a 30-day trial to this tool. Clover pulled back 3.8 held end of day. Nice rebound today. A very little wick at the top. If you own it, end of day didn't tell you to get out of it. You're fine. Oof. EVGN 3.8 crossed here. 3.8 crossed on 7/18. I'd been out of it then. It's still nice little rebound day, but I'm not getting back into it until end of day. 3.8 crosses back up. Ryan, what do you think about this one? STKH.
We got stakeholder here. Ooh, what I don't like right out the gate. Look at these top
Yeah.
wicks in the last 2
I
days.
agree.
A lot of selling pressure. The volume much lower than it has been. The past two volume bars. Not a big fan of that one right now.
I agree. I totally agree.
Even though the 3 is above the 8, I'd want to see at least some momentum on the upside. Because it looks like anything above right around $1.10, the sellers are just taking control of it.
Absolutely. I'm not a big fan of this one. I know it's a big mover today on the list, but yeah. All right, next one. What about this one? QRTE. It's got too many letters. It's a pink sheet. What do you think about this one?
Until we get a sense of direction, because look at the 3 and the 8. They've just kind of been teeter-tottering back and forth. You can see it channeling right through the resistance and the support level here over the past few weeks. I'd like to see a breakout on either one of those sides to get a clear sense of direction.
I agree with that.
But I will say, look at the volume down below. Looks like the last 2 weeks, the volume has just diminished.
As the stock started moving sideways.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'd like to see a breakout with strong volume and go from there.
Totally. XNet. Same kind of scenario. Nice move. 45-degree angle. Leveling out. Nice up day today. End of day though, the 3 still below the 8. I'm a big fan. This is a 3-month graph. Let's go see if we can take out that 3-month, that whole 3-month thing. Do you?
Was this a leisure gaming
This
company?
thing is volatile.
I'm not a big fan of this at
I think
all.
it's a Chinese stock too.
Okay. But if anything, I'd like to see that prior swing high earlier this month taken out. Because right now, the last time they tried to take that out was yesterday, it looks like. We got a strong selling pressure with that upper wick. But in addition to that, the close was lower than the open. So it
Yeah.
looks like, the sellers had control most of yesterday there,
And we're not
just by looking at that
it's not
wick.
even able to take out yesterday's candle yet.
Mm-mm.
Was the last one in there. All right, so I wanted to introduce on a day like today when the market, look at that. The market is the 2 o'clock.
Glenn, should we show them the DTI a little bit?
We can. The DTI 1.42 is cast on a scale between 0 and 2. So it makes it easy. We got a sweet spot on our DTI at 1.20 that lets us know if we're on the right side of the market, whether it's on the bullish or the bearish side. Right now, based upon what's going on in the market, it's above 1.2 at 1.44. If we were going to play the market as a trade as of right now, we're on the right side of the market to play the market today. PB says, is the Jockey Club predominantly designed for day trading? It is more designed for day to swing trading, depending on what's going on in the market. We're in a more of a trader's market than we are a trending market. When we're in a trending market, the Jockey Club will find you stocks to invest in long term. When I say long term, a couple of days to a couple of weeks. But being in a non-trending or a trader's market, the Jockey Club is ideally suited for those shorter term trades, whether it's a day trade or a trade to only hold a couple of days. So that's the best way I can answer your question, CB. All right, it is our day trading room. Does that mean that we don't hold stocks longer? Sometimes we do. Sometimes we do, depending on the stops we have. All right, SEMA, all right, let's do one last thing. Let's go look at your stocks. SEMA is one of them. I'm only going to bring up 10, though. I'm only going to bring up 10. Let's go to viewers. Let's go to customer picks this week. SEMO, I'm going to take a look at it. I'm only doing 10 stocks. 1, I know there's a big delay today. Okay, that's fine. I'm waiting for them to come in. I'm only doing 10 stocks, though.
Yeah, type in your
Here
stocks.
we go. My account is reversing, falling fast. As a hedge, I'm buying the stock in the company that makes the glue on the back of.
God.
I don't know if that's funny. What?
I
DE John Deere. STRL, that's 3. PBF, that's 4. CVI, that's 5. TDOC, that's 6. ENPH, that's 7. I don't know. Auto. It is. That's 8. OCDDY. OCDDY. That's 8. If not, 8 will be Halliburton. That's 9. And EVXX. That's 10. Here's our 10.
There we go.
All right. Here's our 10. Ryan. Tell you what we're gonna
You start with the first
No.
one?
do. The top 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Do the top 5.
All right. So first on the list, we got Sterling.
Actually, he's
coming
giving
in
you
at-
control. You now have control.
Oh, I've
Yeah.
got control now? All right, perfect. So the first one here, we got Sterling, priced today at $58.40. We're valuing it at $74. So it is greatly undervalued. Like to see that. Good updated day. RVRS fundamental indicators, nice strong ratings here. Our technical indicator 1.63. So yeah, this is a solid stock. Undervalued, fundamentally, technically sound, buy rating, nice growth rate in earnings. PBF Energy. Let's see here. We're priced at $46, valued at $70 here, so greatly undervalued. Now, this is up 3% today. The only thing to be concerned here, you could take a little bit more of a risk on this just because the relative safety is below 1, but we do have the buy rating and great positive GRT, growth rate and earnings. Next, we got Silicon Motion. See here, this one is overvalued, trading at $93, only valued at $56. This is up 80% today, so definitely look at see what's going on in the news with this.
Right click on it and click on news.
View stock news. China unexpectedly approved sale of Max Linear. So I would have to look into a little bit more of that, but clearly the market's liking it. The safety rating is above 1, so it's a big mover. Make sure you have some stops in play. RT already maxed out at 2.00. We got the buy rating here. Next on the list, we got CVR Energy. This one is also undervalued, just trading at just above $35. We're valuing it closer to $46. Nice update today at just over 2% here. Fundamentally mixed. The RV, good positive rating here. A little bit on the riskier side with RS below 1, closing at 0.71 right now. Technically sound, though. It's in a nice uptrend with 1.74 RT. We got a good buy rating here and a good GRT. The last one, we got Halliburton, undervalued once again here, 38 compared to 52, updated day. The relative safety is really the only indicator of some concern there. So just realize you're going to take a little bit more risk, but it does have the buy rating and a good growth rate here.
Hey, highlight
a lot of energy, a lot of oil companies.
Highlight the top,
and I believe
highlight the top 5 and graph them.
See here. View stock graph. Let me take our stop price off. There we go. Halliburton here.
3-month graph, 1 or 3-month graph, unless you're looking at it from a day trade.
Nope. There we go. All right. So Halliburton here. You can see we're sitting at a level of resistance right now. Definitely want to get out of this resistance zone to go forward. I would like to see this take out yesterday's high. Make sure that momentum continues to the upside. 3 is above the 8 here. The volume slacking a little bit over the last few days, but most notably, just want to take out yesterday's high and get past this resistance zone. Let's see here. There we go. We got Sterling. This is a building company, heavy construction here. I like this. I'm just gonna put this on here. Nice lower left to upper right over the last 3 months there. The only thing I'd really be concerned about, the RT starting to slip a little bit to the downside. So definitely want to see that 3 get back above the 8 there. Here we got BPF Energy. Oh, look at that. Nice big candlestick here, full body candlestick showing buyers have control. Like I said, I'm bullish on oil in general. I have been for several weeks now. Tonight's video, I believe this stock is in the list, if I remember correctly. Oh, get down. All right. So this is the Silicon Motion.
I think somebody put it in here. It's getting bought. So that was that Chinese sale thing. I think it's getting bought. Is that what it said? You there?
As far as the news on it, let's see here. It said that China approved some, let's see here. Silicon Motion stock soars as China unexpectedly approved sale to Max Linear. Oh, so it is getting bought out by Max Linear.
Okay. All right.
Now, one thing I do like here, the sellers did come in. You can see the bottom wick, but the buyers came right back. So if we can start to get a body on that upper candlestick there by the end of the day, that's going to look really good. But other than that, 3 and 8 day moving average, and clearly, the
news,
a lot of volume here today.
That's a lot of volume on news right there.
So there's definitely some conviction to that move. And this is the last one here. We got CVI Energy Petroleum. The 3 has been above the 8. Look. Let's see here. Let's do a date line.
5:30.
Looks like the last crossover was back in June. So a lot of momentum here. Broke through these levels of resistance here. There's another level here. Just hit a new 3-month high. RT still on the rise here. The volume you can see it starting to descend a little bit. So not too much conviction here. So I'd like to see that volume pick up some more. But other than that, I definitely like the price action.
That's a good looking stock right there. That CVI stock
Yeah.
is a darn good looking. All right, let me take the bottom 5. Right. VSTs on all of these stocks are above 1. John asks, would you guys buy stocks with MTI this high? The answer to that question is, personally, I'm going to take what the market gives me, but I'm not going to go full bore. If I take any trades right now, it'll be shorter term. I know that the market is looking high. The MTI is telling me that. So I'm going to be very cognizant of that. But the greedy side of me doesn't want to leave any profits on the table. So I'm going to take some of this stuff, but this is going to be with a much smaller portion of my portfolio. Does that make sense, John? If I take anything, it's going to be with a less than normal amount of money that I would normally put in on a trade.
So smaller position sizing, you're thinking?
Absolutely.
Yeah, I like what you said. Definitely more momentum trading, maybe more technical based short-term trading. As far as, long-term investments or passive style investing, probably not necessarily, at least in my opinion, the best time to do that.
So if I were looking to answer your question, John, once I'm done here, we'll sort the list by RT. Those were the stocks that I'd be looking at, but again, I'm not taking a big position. All right. John Deere, 434, 579, undervalued, fundamentally sound, grows their earnings at a clip of 22%. Ocado, I know nothing about this company. Pink sheet, it's got 11,000 letters, so it makes it a pink sheet. Way overvalued, fundamentally not there. RT is up, probably news driven. Would you please tell me what you think of Opera? Debbie, I can only do these 10 stocks. I know there's a big delay today. It's all Joey's fault. Joey, I just threw you under the bus. Way under the bus. Woo! All right, so way delayed. I'm only going to do 10, and that's because we're going to, every week we look at what your top 10 picks put up here, how they work. All right, so I do apologize for that. But I got a live stream tomorrow. Come on tomorrow. I'll probably try to look at some of your other stocks that we didn't look at today. About that. All right. Way overvalued. Negative earnings and negative earnings growth. So I don't know much about it, but I'm not feeling that. It's up 25%. I think that's all news. I don't know what the news is, but nothing fundamentally sound about it. EMPH, I've always liked this stock. Undervalued, good upside, fundamentally sound. And every time it looks like it wants to do well, something happens and it goes down. Company grows their earnings at a clip of 40%. When you look at this list, they've got the best earnings growth on the list. All right, so Joey, when you get an Alibaba electric car for $4,000, just don't let it drive since he threw you on. Oh, you type. Shut up. He typed like Jay. When Jay's at Ron's thing, he types like Jay. How am I supposed to understand that? Holy smokes. Debbie says, sure, blame it on somebody else. Dang! Debbie. And all right, I'm going to keep going. EVXX. This must be a ETF, and it is. Let's move over to see what kind of ETF it is. Technology. All right.
Hey, go.
What?
Glenn, real quick, go back to the industries.
Yeah.
A third of the stocks recommended by the customers are petroleum.
What do they know? What they know? Look at that. And that's a good thing. They do know.
Mm-hmm.
The oil video comes out tonight.
Yeah, 6 p.m.
Baby. Glenn, are you going to post a link to join the Jockey Club? No. Lisa, you here? We can have somebody help you out with getting access to the Jockey Club. There's a 30-day trial to it. So that I don't know who here besides Joey from VectorVest. But you can give out, actually, if you go to our main site and use our chat, if you go to our main site, www.vectorvest.com, and use our chat feature, somebody can help you, CB. All right. I drank too much coffee today, Glenn, says John. I'm still drinking. Cafe Bustelo, the official sponsor for VectorVest. All right.
Don't sleep on uranium. I haven't looked at
I'm a
uranium
big
in a while.
fan of uranium and lithium. I'm still a big uranium is another alternative clean energy that it's expensive to go build a generator or a nuclear power plant. But I've done a couple of videos on uranium and why I like it. I'm never sleeping on uranium ever. Ever, ever, ever. I love it. I love it. I love it. All right. So uranium and lithium, I still love them. I've done videos on commodities that I like. Copper I like as well. T-Doc, overvalued. Not fundamentally sound. Moving up. Negative earnings. Positive earnings growth.
I wonder what's the news on Teladoc right now.
I'm
It's up
glad you said that.
27%.
Let's go check it out. Teladoc. Glenn Tompkins says it is the bomb. Oh, it is? Okay. Oh, earnings.
If that was the case, Glenn, it should be at least about 30-40%.
I agree. It looks like it's an earnings play. All right, Brian, you're interested?
Yeah.
All right, go. Everybody who's interested in the Jockey Club, go to our main website, www.vectorvest.com. From there, you're going to get, as a matter of fact, so we know what happened with Teladoc, right? www.vectorvest.com. Go to our main site. Once you get here, a little chat, there it is, right here. See right here, it says live chat. And you can put your email address. How can we help you? Right there, somebody will chat with you. All right, somebody will chat with you. I keep talking about it, but I wanted to show you right there. All right. Huh? But I did the blog. We did the blog. We did it on the stock. What stock did we? Oh, Raytheon. We talked about Raytheon.
Oh,
What?
Glenn,
Okay.
pull up the market timing graph because the market's pulling back a lot right now.
All right. I didn't mean to. Yeah, I did mean to yell. Wanted to yell. Because you're the new guy. Wow. Look at that pullback. Love a wash and rinse market. Look at that. Hi, Chris. Elevator button. It took the elevator up. It took the stairway to heaven, but it looks like it might be taking the highway to hell. All right. So it's dropping. It is dropping hard. Again, folks, the real movement in the market takes place tomorrow. Once the market gets an opportunity to digest what the Fed is saying, the real move will kick in tomorrow. All right. So we know that there's going to be wide swings. It does it every announcement. It took a minute from the 2 o'clock hour to hit, and then it ran, and now it's just running back. All right. You didn't do any of my stocks today. Amir, I'm sorry. We took the stocks as they came up, and I'm sorry that there was a delay. Debbie has forgiven me. Amir, I'm hoping that you can forgive me as well. We'll try again. Joey says try again tomorrow. I got a live stream tomorrow. Make sure you're there. Amir and Debbie, tomorrow, if you're at live stream, I will definitely find you guys and I will take your stuff. Wow, look at that. Are both of y'all okay? Wow. Are both of you, Amir and Debbie, okay with that? All right. Uncle Glenn, or was it Gordon Gecko? Greed is good. Greed is right. Greed works, but not with the MTI at these levels. I agree. Be careful. Look at this fall. Look at this fall. Floor traders are having fun with retail guys. Look at this fall. Holy
Looks like we're about to
smokes.
get back into that channel.
Huh?
Say any further down, we'll be back in that channel where we just were.
That's a big move to the downside. These videos are so great. Thank you, Glenn and Ryan. Thank you guys for being here.
Hey, thank you, Norman. Thank you, everyone else, though.
All right. Jerome says he doesn't believe rates restrictive enough. You know what I took out of it? The full effect not felt. That's huge. He thinks,
And he's mentioned that before.
the full effect not felt. That's huge. Carol says, go back to what Powell was saying, please. I shut him down. 2 p.m. I got a live stream at 2 p.m. All right.
So who won the
I don't
poll?
know. Where's the poll, Joey?
I believe it was
62%
Bulls.
said no, that he wasn't going to crash the market. Now look. Ooh-wee.
the market really hasn't done much.
Huh?
I said the market's pretty much back where we were right
But
around
that's
2 o'clock.
a big fall from the big rise.
Mm.
That's a big fall. And there's a level, horizontal line. I'm going to draw it right about here. It's a good level of resistance right at that wick. You're right. Prior to the 2 o'clock, we were in a little bit of a channel. We're about to get back into that. Let me know what time. Amir, 2 p.m. Eastern. 2 p.m. Eastern. PM Eastern. Can we do option on what Powell says? It's tough to do that. If you got a market that does this, that's tough to play an option. It's tough to play a stock. John says, I knew he would crash the market. Yes. He says
John must have some shorts
now,
or some puts in place.
Now, when I was all excited about my stocks going up, crap. Now I'm going to have to go check them out again. Log in. Listen, I got to check my stocks. And I'm still up. I'm just only up half of what I was. I'm only up half of what I was. All right. I think we covered everything we needed to cover. The market response, there it is. We saw it live. We talked to the Fed. We didn't talk to the Fed. I should have talked to the Fed. Hold on. Let me call him. Let me see your phone. I gotta call the Fed. Hold on. Jerome?
Tom said SQQQ.
Jerome? Yeah. This is your Uncle Glenn. I need you to understand what's going on in the market. If you need a refresher course, give me a call. Joey and I will sit down, take you to lunch. We'll talk a little bit about the market. Ryan will do a presentation for you, and we get you all squared away. All right? Yeah. Right on, my brother. Later. All right. I got it. I took care of it. That was the Fed phone. That was the Fed phone. All right. And he won't.
Well, by this minute's candlestick, looks like they liked what you said, Glenn.
Listen, I got this. Listen, all you needed me to do is to let Uncle Glenn call the Fed. Look at that. I just got off the phone with the Fed. And look at that. What more do I need to do? Hit the like button. I hit the like button. Tell you will give him a free VectorVest mug. Nah. He doesn't get a mug. He doesn't
get a mug.
All right, listen. I made a call. You can thank your Uncle Glenn later. You thank your Uncle Glenn later. Was that a green phone or the red phone? That was the blue phone. It's right in the middle.
The blue phone.
All right. We getting ready to go. Ryan, did you sign off last week or was it me?
You signed off, or I signed off last week. We did some yeehaws to get out of here.
Right. I'm going to sign out for this. Don't forget, Ryan's video comes out at 6 p.m. tonight. Specifically looking at oil, I think he's got a lot of great insight. You don't want to miss it. If you're brand new to the channel, this was your first time here and you liked what you saw, don't forget to hit the subscribe button, hit the bell icon so you'll be alerted when new videos come out and new content comes out. If you liked what you saw today, hit the like button, and share it. Like and share. Now they are shorting after Glenn's call. I got this. Don't worry about this. Stop showing your screen. Good. There you go. Don't worry about that. I already talked to the Fed. All right, folks, we're out of here. Adios, arrivederci, ciao, au revoir, sayonara, aloha to all my peeps in Hawaii. Bom dia. Salam, shalom, namaste, yasu. Till the next time, folks. See you. Say bye, Ryan.